Hey guys, Gary J here. We're going to be looking at this throwing knife, and I have to say this is a beautiful design blade right here. I like this curvature here. I like this kind of like blood groove right here. I like the point on it, and pretty black type of micarta handles on it, and it is a decent size blade too, and just to me a very beautiful knife. And this blade itself right here it's about 9 1/4 inches long on the blade part, and the handle you add about another 4.5 inches. Altogether it's about 13.5 inches long for this blade. This is made by a Rough Rider, and Rough Rider has like a horseshoe there. And I saw this on eBay, and I thought, well, you know, that's a stainless steel knife, and it's got a place for a lanyard here too if you wanted to use that. But it is a throwing knife. That's what it's designed for. And I thought the price on it was about $16.50, including shipping and handling. So I mean, the whole price of this is like $16.50, $17 at the most. And to get a stainless steel blade that's made with that design and micarta handles, and this is real flush right here on both ends right here, and it is a really nice. It's R&R 490. The steel is decent. Now the thickness of the blade here, on measuring the thickness with a ruler, is only 1/8 of an inch thick. Makes it pretty light. And I weighed it. I think it was 11.6 ounces. 11.6 ounces. It's pretty light, but you know, it's big enough, and it's got a decent grip on it. And for the price, I don't think you could beat it. One thing that concerned me about it was that when you look at the point right here, that's a pretty sharp point. And for a throwing knife, you don't want a point that narrow. You got a good chance of breaking that. You know, I would rather the point be about, I don't know if you can see it, be about this thick. More closer to the 1/8 of an inch thick here, tapering down maybe just a tad. But if the point does break on it, then you know, you can always grind it down and make it a little bit thicker. But it looks like a really decent knife for the price of it. I read some reviews on it, and some people complain about the handle coming off. I know some of these knives now, these are cheap knives, but I mean, you can't make a knife for the price of this. That they put these handles or scales on them, and they don't glue them on. They just use the pins right here, and sometimes the pins don't hold them real well. So we're going to throw this knife and see how it throws, and hopefully, you know, it throws decently and don't have a problem with the scale or the point. Now, since it is about 13.5 inches, I would think that you probably need to be about 10 feet away from your target when you first throw it, and we're going to find out. So let's check out this and just see how it does. But it feels good. Balance point is about right here. So it's got a nice hefty blade to it. And the edge of it is sharp. It's pretty sharp. Not overly sharp, but it's good enough for you to throw half spin with holding the blade. And the handle feels pretty good too for throwing. Let's check this out and see how it throws. It's made of it's got RR 490, made in China. Now, China makes some fairly decent knives. Actually, now you can get high quality knives made in China too, but you know, for the workmanship here, you just can't beat the price of this. And it really feels good and it looks good. So let's see how it does as a throwing knife. Thanks, guys. Gary J. Okay guys, this is going to be a target here. It's about as big as my finger. So it's pretty small right there, about the size of a nickel. And we're going to see how this knife throws here. I'm going to start out at the length of this blade is about 13.5 inches. So I figured about 9.5 feet. We're going to throw it by the handle, put a little finger on the bottom here. Let's see how this works. That was the first time I've thrown this knife. And so at 9.5 feet, just guessing, it stuck in a tree pretty much almost at 3 o'clock, so that'd be 2 o'clock. Almost at 3 o'clock, so that's the perfect distance right there. Of course, we're aiming for this target right here, but first time throwing that takes a little bit to get used to the feel of it. It slides out of your hand good, so that's good. So let's try that again. And see, I've got a ruler here on the ground. Lets me know exactly where I'm at. Put my finger on the end right here. This time I'm going to concentrate. Okay, because of its weight, it's dropping down a little bit on the throw, so I just have to throw it a little bit harder. But here again, we've got a perfect stick right here. And this is 3 o'clock, so that's the perfect stick. Okay. So now we have an idea of how to throw it. I'm going to aim up a little bit higher. Off to the left here. I mean the right here. But we're getting more in line right here. Okay, let's see. We hit it this time right here. Throwing it a little bit harder. It's a little bit of overspin. Level out. So we're getting more in line here with our little target here, big as my thumb. So about 3 fingers away from that. Well, that's not too bad. That's a pretty good throw there. Just a tad overspin, level that out. About 2 fingers from our target being center, which is maybe 1.5 inches. So that's a good stick right there. Point still looks good. It's sticking at 3 o'clock. Perfect stick right there. And we're about 1 finger away. So we're getting there. That's the thing when you start throwing a knife you've never thrown before. And even when you start and you haven't thrown in a few days or so like that, you gotta get your eye and your arms to working together to get your target in line. Okay. Now this one we're about 2 fingers from, well, about a finger away from hitting our target, just a tad upward. But we hit it about 3 o'clock, which is good. We're at the right distance. Now I'm throwing at 10 feet. I started at 9 foot 6 inches, and I need to throw it a little bit harder, so I ended up having to step back a little bit. Okay, after throwing this knife, we haven't dropped it not one time. It's always been a good stick. Now, throw it by the blade. I got a feeling because it's such a big knife that throwing it by the blade probably gonna step up about 9 foot 6 inches. That's just a guess. And let's see how we do. Okay. I don't know if you saw that. I saw that. That's the first time the knife's been dropped. And the top of the blade, the top of the handle hit the tree. And I'm at 9 foot 4 inches. So the top of the handle hit, which is an overspin. Okay, that means I need to be closer. So I probably will go, if I'm at 9.4, I think I need to go like to about 6 inches closer to 8 foot 8 inches, and that should do it. Okay, we're holding the blade the same. It's got to be in your hand at the same spot. Got the point there in my palm. And with 8 foot 8 inches, 8 foot 8 inches. Had to go up 8 inches because it was hitting the tree flat like this right here. That first throw. You see where our blade hit right here, just a little bit of overspin. We're about 1 finger away from our target. Now, depending on how you release the blade, you grab the blade in the center as much as possible with your thumb over the center here. If you want it to hit the tree flat with the blade on that one, when I threw it, it turned a little bit, which is not a problem. Here we go. A little bit of underspin. You can see we're only like an inch away. This is one you don't want a blade sharp on it. And this one's not too bad. You can see we're about an inch away, right underneath it. Okay, one more here. Let's see. Yeah, that's about a quarter of a finger away from our target. Again, our target's not as big as your thumb. So, that's not bad. This is really a beautiful knife right here because of the weight of it right here. And I think this kind of dished out part here, it turns a little bit. You can offset that if you want to. Now the grain of this tree is kind of running this way. Usually it sticks better if you throw it so it sticks like this. But that was perfect throw. That was the way you really want it to stick. If you're doing a half spin by the blade, while we're at it, let's do a 2-spin throw here. That was 2-spin, a little bit of overthrow. Let me pull a blade down. And we're about 3 fingers off from our target here. And I'll have to measure that distance right there. I stepped up about 4 inches, and that gave me close to a 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock would be here. That would be 3 o'clock. Gave me close to a 3 o'clock, and probably about 3-4 inches above the target. But that's not bad. Let's try again. It was pretty good hit. What, 4 fingers below, and stuck good. That's a pretty good throw there. I think we're at 18 feet. This is about 2 o'clock position, should be 3. And we're about 2 fingers from our target here, or from dead center. Anyway, so that's our 2-spin throw, about 18 feet. Depends on how long your arm is and how hard you throw, depends on that. Let's see how she does on no spin. That's a no spin throw. A little overspin there, but she's like 2 fingers away from center of our target there for the no spin. More 3 o'clock. That's a good stick right there. A couple of fingers away from our target. Every time you stick it, you step back a little bit farther. How you build your instinctive throwing. Ooh, that was a good throw. Okay, again, we're 2 fingers away from center. So, what's the take on this? Just a little review. At about 8 foot 6 inches, holding the blade right here, we can do the half spin throw, holding it by the blade. Yeah, that was a good 3 o'clock throw right there, a finger away. And if we step off about 1 more foot, well, if we go to 9 foot 6 inches, holding it by the handle, and putting our finger on the lanyard hole right here, we get a good close to 3 o'clock stick right here, a couple of inches from the target, 2 fingers, and at 18 feet from the target right here, with a handle grip. That was a pretty good throw. Blade turned a little sideways, but about 3 fingers off. It's not bad for 18 feet. So, and we tried our no spin on this right here. I threw that one badly off to the side. Anyway, this is a no spin. So with this knife right here, we can, our blade throw, half spin, 8 foot, 8 inches, do our handle throw, 1 full revolution, and that's at 9 foot 6 inches, and then about 18 feet we can hold it by the handle and do our 2 spin throw. So that's pretty much kind of how that's working with this blade. And looking at the point looks unharmed, and so this knife right here is not bad at all. I mean, again, if you stick it in a tree and go up and down to pull it out, because that point is real thin. If you try to go back and forth, you're going to snap that point off because it's that thin. But it's holding up really well. So for $17, I think that's a really good deal. You know, something you play around with. But you got to baby it a little bit, protect it a little bit. And the handles and the pins look good on it too. No shift, no cracks, no nothing. So pretty good deal for the money, I think, guys. Again, I found that on eBay, Rough Rider. Might want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Gary J.